Procrastination isn't laziness. It's not a bad habit, and it's definitely not something you can bully yourself out of with shame-fueled discipline. It's a universal experience. It's really misunderstood, and it's actually rooted in fear and perfectionism. This is the last video you'll ever need on procrastination, because I'm not going to just give you another checklist or mood hack. I'm going to tell you why it happens and how your biology, your psychology, and your self-identity feed it, and how to actually break free. You've been conditioned to think procrastination means you don't care enough, or to just hack it, but that's all bullshit. The way to beat it is to understand it, and once you see it, it stops being a problem forever. Quick note before we dive in, if you're ready for the full strategic blueprint on how to silence this procrastination and overthinking without the generic hustle advice or mood hacks, click the link below. It's already helped hundreds of creators. It's the fastest path to relief that I know of. Okay, what the fuck is procrastination? Procrastination isn't laziness. It's the avoidance of inevitable discomfort or inevitable success. Usually those two things are interchangeable within the experience of procrastination. Facing that discomfort or facing that success requires a shift in identity, and that's hard to do. So let's cut the shame around it right now, because your nervous system is trying to preserve this self-identity in order to keep you safe. And that's what it is at the core. It's a safety response, not a character flaw. Your nervous system is ancient, and to it, tackling the thing you've been procrastinating on feels like being ousted from the tribe. It feels like being in the wilderness on your own, in danger of starving in the freezing woods. And that's why rejection burns so much. It's very primal. And none of this is a weakness. It's just how you're wired. And most of the times, a procrastination-worthy endeavor has rejection dangling somewhere in the outcome. My story. I care about this stuff so much because I bled for this information. I grew up in a strict religious household, then in really serious athletics. All the while, I was surrounded by really ambitious, really creative people. And so all throughout my upbringing, the lines were really blurred between chaos and discipline and meaning and identity. I was going to play college football, but instead I dove into music production and playing in a band and writing songs and engineering and having a studio. And all the while I was rebelling against the very rigid structure that I was raised in. That left me in a strange and toxic loop where I was really ambitious. I wanted to make things, but I still fueled myself with that oppressive shame, God, coach voice. It's all I knew. And that led to overthinking and procrastination and self-sabotage. And I was in this loop for years and years and years. Even when I would finish albums or go on tour or finish something, it came at a huge cost. And sort of a big violent wave of productivity would crash. And none of it was sustainable. But everywhere I looked, I couldn't find a fresh way out of this complexity. I had such a rich internal world, but I didn't know how to express myself and operate productively without feeling like everything was wrong, everything was fucked up, and that I was never enough. And come to find out, there are millions of people who feel exactly the same way I did. You're a machine of anticipation. Here's some neuroscience. Your limbic system lights up with dopamine when you anticipate something, not when you finish it. The vision, the dream, the gathering, the talking about the thing, that's the hit that your brain is always chasing. So of course you procrastinate. You're intoxicated by dopamine every time you delay and dream and fantasize and pause. This is a scientific truth that explains so much about resistance. Anticipation provides a bigger rush than completion. You are biologically wired to chase. This is the sick joke that the cosmos decided to play on us because we simultaneously want to and have to finish challenging things. You're a hero on a journey. Your psychology loves drama. You mythologize yourself. Carl Jung and Joseph Campbell called it archetypes, and we continue to uphold these heroes and villains in all of the stories in our lives. You delay because your ego wants a juicier story. You self-sabotage to create obstacles. You make your path harder so you can feel like the hero. That's why ambitious creators often become high functioning procrastinators because they actively love to make things more difficult for themselves. They're addicted to the struggle narrative. But here's the key: the hero only feels fulfilled upon completion. Birth, death, rebirth, not just endless lukewarm struggle. Paraphrasing the hero's journey, but that's the gist. If you're stuck in endless beginnings, you are enjoying it and you're stuck in sort of the half arc of your own story. The hero, you, can only become a hero when they finish, killing the productivity worm. We've been brainwashed by hustle culture to worship productivity. If you live in the Western world, productivity is undoubtedly your religion. And what happens is we get lost in that humdrum, and a lot of us get stuck in perpetual second gear. We don't feel safe enough or worthy enough of first gear: rest, recovery, observing, inspiration, gathering, honing, listening. And so we don't have the energy for sixth gear: attacking, really taking risks, really putting yourself out there for a vulnerable try. We were raised in assembly line schooling, clock in jobs, bottom line efficiencies. But creators can't run on that type of factory fuel. You can only really run on instinct and risk. If you try to run your life like a worm, regurgitating your own menial productivity for decades and decades, you will be miserable. So here's the antidote, the killer of the productivity worm. Rest hard, then work hard. Break big goals into microscopic ones until they feel light. Aim small, but act big. A lot of ambitious creators just procrastinate because they're carrying around the weight of the world on their shoulders all of the time. We need to learn how to put all of that ambiguous noise down and to pick up the pieces that we actually need, and then to just move forward in short, focused bursts. And that comes from being anti-productivity worm. Be a master of mistakes. This is the micro cure. We've zoomed out and seen the macro causes of procrastination, but if we zoom in and see the way to actually technically start to tackle some of this stuff, we see that it's about trusting in tiny, messy movements, evolutions, versions, drafts. That is iteration, and iteration is king. Overthinking and procrastination die the moment you stop worshiping perfection and stop worshiping complexity. Nothing is as complicated as your crazy monkey brain makes it. Every action is just a test. Every movement is subject to change. Every action is just a way to find better action. Creativity isn't a clean forward march. Creativity is excavation. It's like a crazy rabid dog digging through the mud looking for a bone. What you want, in a lot of ways, already exists. You just need to uncover it. Iteration has retroactive confidence. It's messy because it knows that it has reinforcements coming. It trusts in the future. And then you're going off the strength of just knowing that everything is a rough draft, even the things that feel really final. But people don't embrace this because it's not sexy, it's not impressive, it's not dramatic, it's not a final, clean cut, one shot. It's a little bit boring, but it's based in the fundamental truth of the evolution of all species on this planet. Tiny little adjustments over a long period of time until you are adequately fit to survive in a certain environment. Your creativity is no different. And when you apply this to procrastination, you're fucking deadly. Procrastination what? Procrastination who? So there it is. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's fear and it's perfectionism. And the shame around it is very unnecessary. Your brain is wired to chase anticipation more than attainment. Your nervous system is ancient and terrified of rejection. Your psychology loves drama and delay. And hustle culture makes you mistake busyness for progress. Once you're aware of all of that, the final step is to embrace iteration, to trust in the unflashy reliability of evolution. And if you want strategic relief from procrastination that you can have for life without all the generic hustle hack BS, click the link below. It's already helped hundreds of creators. Also sign up for my email list. That's it for today. I believe in you.